Hello YouTube, it's your boy Nathan coming you to do another recap video. Today we are talking Catfish, the TV show Shay and Ceejay. That's the episode called this week. So we're just going to get right into the video. Again, once again guys, thank you for your views and comments on the last Catfish video from last week. It was a hit. It was crazy. I need you guys to keep watching my videos. Watch my other videos. I have other shows that I do. Like, I need more views on the other shows. But I appreciate you guys so much. So thank you guys so much for watching. So this episode, this girl named Shay, she's from Florida, reaches out to Neve and Tallulah Willis is co-hosting this week. Cammy will be back in a couple weeks. So they had Tallulah Willis co-host this week. They get the email. She met this girl like 8 years ago, named Ceejay, and they hit it off. Throughout their time, they talked about having a kid, and like there was like some kind of rules that Ceejay wanted Shay to do. Like Ceejay wanted Shay to like with some rules get pregnant, and like it just turned out to be stalkerish a little bit. Like she wanted her to get pregnant, and and she knew when she ovulated, and she was with the guy. Shay was with the guy that got her pregnant. Shay's already a mother, and she actually had another child with this other guy. And then her and Ceejay started having issues, and then Shay fell in love with the guy that she got pregnant with, like, so they can like co-parent and stuff. Well, when they broke up, she fell in love with the guy, and that was that. Well, after some time, after a few years recently, Ceejay reaches back out to Shay and wants to have like a relationship. And also throughout that time, Ceejay made Shay like get a tattoo of her name. And Shay did, and everything. Now, Shay had mentioned that it was her sister, Asia, I think that was her name was, that said that you should get a tattoo of her. And Shay was like, okay, but she did it because like she was afraid if she didn't do it that she was going to lose her or whatever. But I'm like, well, a tattoo is pretty permanent. And anyway, so like Shay mentioned she got a new tattoo to cover up the name, but it's still there basically. So she calls in the Catfish. Of course, there's no video chatting or whatever. Neve and Tallulah do their investigation. Clearly the girl in the pictures, it wasn't the girl in the pictures wasn't the person. I knew it was too good to be true right from the get-go. It wasn't the girl in the pictures. They came across the Instagram, and they found Ceejay's Instagram and somebody who was following Ceejay, and her name was April. And I guess April was an elderly lady who was neighbors with Ceejay, and she was basically covering up for Ceejay, saying, oh, I know Ceejay for years. She just moved and everything. I'll try to get a hold of her for you or whatever. And we're just like, that's just kind of a little suspicious and everything. So Neve and Tallulah and Shay decide to go to Georgia to meet up with Ceejay finally. They get there, they were supposed to meet at a park, and Ceejay decides to cancel on them and everything. And of course, just like another Catfish situation, here we go, someone just scared to come clean. So the next day, they reached back out to April and said, have you heard from Ceejay? Can you let her know we're getting a hold of her? All of a sudden, April says that, oh, yeah, I'll try to track her down. And then randomly was like, hey, I found her. She's at this address. And I'm just like, when she sent the address, I'm just like, she said she was at her auntie's. And I'm just like, really? All of a sudden, she said April had mentioned that she hasn't heard from her for a long time, but then randomly that quick tracked her down and got an address. That's a little weird. So, but come to find out, April was really covering for her the whole time, which is crazy because April was an elderly lady. But anyway, they meet up. They come back the next day to meet up with Ceejay and everything. And CJ was not obviously not CJ. It was a girl named Tay, and Tay came out, and she just like, she kind of played victim a little bit. She's like, you cheated on me, this is it, I'm sorry for being a fake person, but you were this and that. Also, we found also in the episode, Shay had given CJ her bank information, and CJ took like wiped out her debit card, and she blamed it on her sister Asia when it really wasn't her. And at the end, Tay confessed that it was really Tay who took that money and everything, but Tay just played victim. Like she was just like struck. She was just bringing up the fact that Shay cheated on her with the guy that she had her pregnant. But I don't know why Tay was playing victim, because I go back to the tattoo thing. She was like, I didn't tell her to get the tattoo. I was just really surprised that she did. The sister said that. But still, whoever's involved shouldn't be doing that, especially when you're a catfish. That's just messed up. Whether Shay did that, I know Shay was a little crazy for doing that, but still, you don't tell somebody to get tattooed someone's name that's not even your name. Like, that's embarrassing. That's really embarrassing. And I don't know why she played victim. It just throughout the time, she really was stalking her. I guess she had made another profile on another dating site, and found Shay, that when they were not talking at one point, and saying, I've been trying to look for you, I've been dying to meet you, this and that. It was just really stalkerish. And Shay had mentioned she was afraid to go online because of all the stalkeriness that Tay was doing and stuff. And so they meet, and it just didn't go well. They argue, they try to make amends, and it just did not. At the follow up, they are still not talking to each other. It said that Shay is just looking to find somebody in person by herself, and Tay is just looking to just better herself. So this episode, I just felt like Tay was just wrong for everything, from catfishing to suggesting the tattoo, even though she said she wasn't, but she really was, and taking the money, wiping out her debit card. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. That's the three worst things you could do in a romance. This was a traditional romance scam, from catfishing, tattoos, and money. Clearly, I was on a website, and they asked, should romance scammers be sent to jail? Obviously I think so, yes. But whenever it goes in front of a judge, it'd be like, oh well, it could just be thrown back to you. Oh, you could have said no to all of that. But when you're in love and just trying to look for love, you'll do crazy things. And so I can't fault anybody for doing those things, but you have to be really, really careful, because there are lots of malicious people out there who are not in it for the right reasons. And I feel so bad for Shay. But she handled herself really well, and I'm glad now she has 2 kids, and she has to take care of, and I think maybe the father of the baby that she was supposed to have with quote unquote CJ, aka Tay, she's taken care of with the biological father. So yeah, another weird manipulative episode. It wasn't as crazy as last week's episode, but it was still just ridiculous. Traditional romance scammer. But anyway, guys, that was the Catfish recap. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be back on tomorrow to recap tonight's episode of Married at First Sight. And I hope you guys watch that, and I'll see y'all soon. Have a great day.